I have an experience to share around the difference between being part of a high-performing team and being part of a low-performing team. A few years ago, I ran a sales team that was achieving its numbers, and we were scaling those results quarter on quarter, year on year. But as our results were going up and to the right, the culture was going down and to the left. So how did that manifest itself? Well, people weren't upholding values. The team were pushing their boundaries. That was a thing that I noticed particularly early on. I now know is an early warning sign that things aren't right. So certain things weren't being done, like people would take time off and not say anything. Just little things like that that indicated that there was a larger problem. They also shared the same opinions on absolutely everything. And this manifested itself in one-on-ones where I'd have a conversation with one of them, they'd complain about something. And then I would have a one-on-one with another member of the team a couple of days later, and they would repeat almost verbatim what the other team member had said. And they all did this, which now I know is because they were all very similar people with very similar experiences and backgrounds and personalities. And so no one was willing to voice a different opinion to the group, because the group had almost created its own values, different to the company values. So while the team was hitting targets and everything looked great, underneath the surface, our performance wasn't going to be sustainable in the long term because of the culture within the team. And what I learned from that is twofold. Diversity is your best line of defense when it comes to a negative culture. If you've got a group of people who all have different experiences, different backgrounds, then this kind of destructive groupthink doesn't tend to happen because they're more comfortable sharing their opinions and their ideas. The other thing is, just because your team is doing well and doing the key components of their job well, the culture is what's going to sustain it in the long term. And if you ignore negative people or negative sentiments that are dragging your team down because you think, yeah, this person's always negative in meetings, but we're still hitting targets, press the red alert button, because if you don't have the culture, you're creating so much pain for yourself and for the company further down the line. So hire a diverse team and don't ignore signs of negativity, because you have to hold your team accountable. And the only way you can do that is by recognizing that just because you may be performing well in some areas, that culture and how we conduct ourselves at work, how we show up, is just as important to performance as hitting numbers.